A California parole board has ruled that Lyle Menendez should stay in prison for his part in the killing of his parents more than 35 years ago. His fate and that of his brother now rest with the California Governor Gavin Newsom. A parole board denied Lyle's request yesterday, just a day after his brother Eric was also denied. Commissioners acknowledged Lyle's years of service work behind bars, but said that he still struggles with honesty and obeying rules. They point to his unauthorized cell phone use as a red flag. For now, the brothers are in prison, but Newsom can ultimately support or reverse that decision. For more on what this means, I'm joined now by attorney Misty Marris. Misty, good morning to you. Are these denials a surprise?
They aren't a surprise for a couple of reasons. First, we have to remember the brutality of the crime. This was a double homicide. And so this is the first time that the brothers were before the parole board. It is very unlikely, especially with a violent crime, that the first try at seeking parole will be successful. Also, going into these parole hearings, we knew that a risk assessment was done on each brother individually. That includes a psychological evaluation. The results of that were a moderate risk, Victor. Could have been low risk. Low risk would have increased the odds exponentially. But because it was moderate, that was a caution flag to the parole board. So the moderate risk categorization, coupled with the violent crime and the fact that this is the basis of double homicide, I'm not surprised to see the parole was denied this time around.
The new evidence about the abuse that Lyle and Eric Menendez suffered at the hand of their father, Jose Menendez, that they say they endured, was a large part of the hearing on Friday. In the end, how important was it, or how influential was it on the parole board?
It matters a lot because it relates to one of the factors the parole board looks at, and that's remorse. The parole board was very focused in both Eric and Lyle's hearings on, okay, we understand that there is this evidence of abuse that was not before the court in trial. They've reviewed not only all of the trial records, the appellate records, now this new evidence in addition to all the records during the time they were incarcerated. But there was one question, Victor, that was central to both brothers, and it was, why Kitty Menendez too? Why your mother also? And this really relates back to the district attorney's argument that this was not something that was relating to abuse. You know, the district attorney has said that there is a question mark about that regardless because it has not gone through or gone before a jury, but it was a crime for financial gain, because if they killed Jose and they didn't kill Kitty, they wouldn't be able to inherit the estate. So it all really relates back to those central arguments and that idea of remorse for the crime.
So let's look ahead to Governor Gavin Newsom. He obviously can intervene here. He can reverse the decision of the parole board. What do we know about the process in the governor's office and the rarity of a governor to reverse the decision of the parole board?
So Gavin Newsom has a lot of power in California when it comes to granting parole. So right now, what's going to happen with this decision is, of course, they're both going to ask for an administrative review of the decision. It was not successful, so they're going to want it to be reviewed by the full parole commission. So that's step one. After that, whatever happens with that review, then Gavin Newsom has 30 days. That takes 120 days. He has 30 days to either reverse, approve, or modify the parole board's decision. But Victor, if he wants to step in, he doesn't necessarily have to wait. They also have a clemency petition where the governor could step in at any time. He is yet to do so. But I will say that Governor Gavin Newsom, more so than governors in the past, has been very active. He's looked at these cases on a case-to-case basis. And so he may, now that this process is over, conduct his own review and make a decision. But he doesn't have to wait for that parole process. He could also jump in at any time as the governor and grant clemency.
A lot of people watching this case. Misty Marris, thank you for helping us understand it. Enjoy the Saturday.
Thank you, Victor. Have a great day.